guys, it's Josh Sutton here with Dalton and Company Realtors. I'm here with David Bruce at Blue Ridge Mortgage, and we're talking about the home buying process, more specifically in loans. Last video, we talked a little bit about the pre-qualification process. Today, we're talking about making loan applications. So David, I put a contract on my house. I got my favorite house under contract. My realtor helped me, and now I need to make loan applications. So what do I need to bring with me when I come and meet with you to make loan application?
So the main documentation that any borrower would need would be their past 2 years of tax returns and W-2s, the most recent 30 days worth of pay stubs, and the most recent 2 months worth of bank statements to show their down payment funds.
Okay. All right, great. And now, during that process, could my interest rates change from when you pre-qualified me?
It all depends upon how soon our scheduled closing date is. We can lock in an interest rate for up to 60 days. So if we know that your closing date is going to be within that time, then it's important that we go ahead and lock it in as soon as possible. Otherwise, if it's going to be outside of that term, then we wait until we get within that 60-day period.
Okay. Now, if I do a shorter rate lock, is that going to be cheaper?
It can have an effect on your rate lock, or I should say your interest rate, to where if we've got a shorter term from the time of loan application to closing, you could qualify for a slightly better interest rate.
Okay. Now, what upfront costs should I expect once I start doing my loan?
Most importantly would be the home inspection. That's something that any home buyer should do up front, so that way they find out about any hidden repairs or things that could need to be fixed in the future. But outside of that would be the appraisal. So that way the banks can ensure that what you're paying for the home is worth it.
Yep, and I know a lot of times in some of our contracts, I'm able to negotiate the closing costs paid for by the seller. Now, if the seller's paying my closing costs, and I know the appraisal is part of that closing cost, do I still have to pay for it up front?
Well, that is a fee that we collect up front. However, if it is something that's been negotiated as part of your closing costs, we refund it to you at closing.
Okay, great. Now, how soon after we make loan application can I close on my house?
That all depends essentially on one, the contract, and two, the seller. Sometimes we get final approval long in advance and the seller has already vacated the property, so closing early is a real option. However, sometimes that seller is waiting to close on another home and can't vacate their home that soon, and so we just go with the scheduled closing date.
Okay, all right. So if the house is vacant and there's no worries, can I close the next day after loan application?
Not that soon.
Oh.
The typical underwriting process does take some time. One, we have to get the appraisal done. We have to have all the title work that comes back from the attorney's office come back free and clear. And so it typically takes at least a couple weeks from the time of application.
Okay, great. Well, we'll talk to you more once we get the house under contract and make that loan application. But hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave questions in the comments or just give us a call directly. We'd love to help you. Thanks.